So this was a really, really good episode of Banana Fish. I really love how they deal with the aftermath of the Ash versus Arthur fight. How Ash is struggling within himself. There's this one frame that I really, really liked where you see basically the Grim Reaper reaching out towards Ash's face. Tremendous direction there. I really liked eBay in the beginning of the episode kind of reflecting on Ash and Eiji's relationship. I really like that kind of stuff. I really like sort of characters looking at those things in retrospect and realizing that it's not necessarily bad for him. I thought that they did a good job of kind of explaining that. I thought that Mappa did a fantastic job just in general with this episode. As I mentioned, it's a really good one. I think that the direction is where it's all at. There was a scene in the episode where Ash is like explaining this math problem to this proctor or whatever, and I've never seen anything like that in an anime. I've seen stuff like this, but not done this way. And I found the scene really, really funny, and it kind of broke the ice a little bit in that tension and sort of... Because things were very cold when the episode started. Things were very dark, and that little bit there definitely kind of alleviated, kind of gave the episode a little more breathing room. I really, really like the fight that happens in the hospital room when the evil spy nurse or whatever comes in. Just fantastic there. I really dig how that action was directed. I just love seeing Ash throw the pole at the girl. That was brutal, but super fun. I love those kinds of scenes, those kind of close quarter fights, and I thought, again, Mappa did a really good job of directing it. Just all in all, a really fantastic way to kind of convey the story moving forward. You know, I feel like we're entering kind of a new act here. And speaking of a new act, we have a new opening here. I don't know the artist, or I think it sounds like the same artist as the first opening. It is very good. Like, really, like, stupid good. Way better than the first one. And I love the first one. Probably the best this fall anime season. And that's crazy because there's a few good openings this season, but I adored this opening. I really love the imagery in it. I love the song. I love the snow. We're going into winter, it looks like. That is super exciting. I really dug that. The ED was good. You ain't touching that first one. That's just not happening. Let's get real now. I did like this one, but that first ED was just immaculate. Just so good. It fit the show so well, and they utilized it in the episode very, very... just good direction. Good direction by Mappa. Mappa has the tools here. I think that the author has given Mappa the tools, and it's sort of Mappa's job in piecing the story together in the best way possible with the episodes that are allotted. And I think that this episode, I think that they did a good job here. You know, we've talked about this before in previous reviews and reactions or whatever, talking about how the series feels very rushed in some scenes, how the episodes kind of deal with things a little too quickly. They could explain things a little bit more. I thought that this episode found a really good sort of middle ground there. I thought that the episode moved very snappingly. It definitely had a fast pace. I thought that they were doing a good job of kind of singling out specific scenes that really worked. The stuff with Ash in the hospital bed, him kind of, again, the death touching his face, like, that's wild. I'm really glad to see that in this anime. The part that kind of got me a little weirded out was seeing Yutlung's brother on, I'm assuming on Banana Fish. I don't think he deliberately says that he's on Banana Fish, but it's probably Banana Fish. Curious what that's about. Obviously, I know that Yutlung is a character that holds a grudge against his brothers and what they did to his mother. We still haven't got too many details on that either, but I'm curious. I'm curious what's happening there, because I want to see that develop. Again, I'm kind of digging Yutlung a little bit more as a character. There's another scene in this episode where he's kind of like stroking his hair when talking about Ash, and I really dug that. I understand where he's coming from. He's always been a very sort of sympathetic character, but I still hate him. I still do. He is still a bad guy to me. Seeing the jail scene as well, seeing Singh in prison, and him kind of gaining this sort of respect towards the people that he was with, you know, during all that mess that happened back at Coney Island. I liked seeing like him kind of grow a connection towards Eiji. Like, yeah, he kind of cared about him there for a minute because he knew that he held importance to Ash, and I dig that. I do. I think that they did a good job, again, of kind of... They're slowly developing Sing. Sing is slowly becoming a character that's likable, and that's a really good thing as well. All in all, just another fantastic episode of Banana Fish. I thought that Mappa... This was one of their better episodes in terms of how they're directing the series. Again, the author has given them the tools, and it's all about how they utilize them. It's all about how they piece it all together, and I thought that this episode was a prime example of them doing right. 2 thumbs up for sure. Make sure to comment down below and give me your thoughts on this week's episode of Banana Fish. What do you think of that opening? Let's talk about that, because I need to watch it like 10 more times, because there's definitely some things to pick up on in terms of where the series is going. Now, obviously, manga readers already know, but for us scrubs, there's definitely some hints there, and it's got me a little excited. Seeing winter is going to be awesome, and by the time we get to that point, it's going to be winter here in New York City as well, so that's really cool. I love how this show is kind of paralleled what's happening in the real world in terms of like the seasons and everything. I don't think it's even intentional. It's just cool. But yeah, comment below. Give me your thoughts on all things Banana Fish episode 14. Just another good episode. I really enjoy talking about this series, and you know, I enjoy your guys' feedback and your thoughts on the episode. So yeah, let's talk about it down there below. Again, as always, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.